As if I don't have enough going on right now with the insulating of the ceiling and prepping for sheetrock. See if you can figure out what's going on here. You hear that staccato, gee, 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 gee. That is the water pump cycling on and off constantly. If I turn on one faucet, the water goes on, the pump goes on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. That's horrible. What that is, the indication that the pressure tank part of the pump has lost its pressure. And so there's, I hope, an easy way to fix it. I'm thawing out some venison, by the way, for chili. Let's go look at the pump. Okay, there's not a lot of light in here. Let me see if I can turn this on. And I've got a flashlight. This is our shallow well pump. Try not to walk through spider webs. Works pretty well. However, it has a small pressure tank. Now, what I think is happening is that pressure tank has lost its pressure. And I used to have to just buy a new pump, but I figured out a few years ago there's a pretty simple way to fix that. And that is to remove the tank from all of this and then drain the tank completely, and then take a bicycle pump, and right under this cap here is a Schrader valve, and I can pump that baffle to the right pressure and then put it back in, reprime the tank, and then put it all back together. That's the plan. So first I'm going to see if I can get it all disconnected. I got to shut off the water to it and from it. I'll shut off the water from it here. I'll shut off the water to it over there. All these are my filters. And while I'm in here, I'm going to replace my carbon filter. And then I'll see what I can do. I'm charging my regular camera right now, so that's fun. But I'll see if I can film this, at least most of it. Alright. Okay, as you can clearly see, I have the pump disconnected and inverted, and I'm trying to drain it out. What y'all probably don't know is something I didn't know until a couple years ago. But the water doesn't go in the tank. It goes in the bladder that's in the tank. So a lot of times what causes this is hot and cold, or the little screws, bolts around the front plate where the bladder attaches, sometimes they get loose. So I'm going to check those, see if I can tighten them up. Still got a little bit of water in there. Well, still has quite a bit of water in there. I'm going to check these first. That one was a little loose. I'm going to let this keep draining. If I can find a way to prop it up without it falling over. Sounds like that might be it. Yeah. Okay. Alright, that appears to be completely drained. One of the mistakes I made in the past was I tried to pump up the pressure with it disconnected. The problem is all these places that are open leak air, so I couldn't get pressure on it. So I have to hook everything back up and then pressurize it. But I think what I'm going to do is get a little bottle of water and clean these fittings up. There was a whole bunch of putty squished out of here. So I'm going to try to use that existing putty and put that one back on. But we'll see what happens. First I'm going to get some water and clean that out. Alright, that's all clean. Let's connect the union. Alright. Now I need to try to get this prime plug off of there. There we go. Put fresh water in there. Now that was not enough. Let me go get some more water. Okay, I got some more water. Thankfully, I had the foresight to get some water before I turned this off. I wonder if I could just... Oh, that's pouring right out the front because I didn't reconnect this. That's funny. Good Lord, what a maroon. Okay. Okay. Now, let's try that again. I wonder if I can just pour right in here. I bet I can. It's gurgling. Because when I put my finger in here, through here, I can see it on the priming plug. It may take more than a gallon of water, I don't know. I have some water from the Evening Shade spring, and I really don't want to waste it on this, but I need to get this hooked back up pretty quick, so I'm going to go get a couple of those gallons out of the house. Dang it. Guess I'll have to make another trip to Evening Shade. Ugh. Alright, I'm going to say that's full. It's coming out of the priming port. Still gurgling. Alright, now, gotta reconnect this. Not sure where that came from. I'll bet you it came from down there, but we'll find out in a minute. Yeah, I'm not feeling real good about that plug down there. Because I found this rubber gasket, and I believe it goes right in here. Well, we'll know as soon as we pressurize this if it starts leaking water. Then we'll have to do it all over again. To get this in here without cross threading it. Feels good. Doesn't feel like I did. Alright. That's pretty tight. Now, I need to pump up the pressure in here on that Schrader valve to 27 pounds. No idea where I put my pump. Let me look for the water or the air pump. Pretty sure it's right out here. Alright. I'm hearing air. Oh man, there's air escaping from down here. So yes, we need that rubber gasket. Shoot. When I disconnect that, all my water's going to go out. But I'm going to have to do it. Holy moly, Batman. I guess there's really not a way to catch that water, but I'm sure going to try. Doggone it. Oh yeah, the water goes in the bladder, not in the tank, so I should be okay. Actually, there we go. Woo! Now the other thing is, I don't have any more plumber putty on that. I am going to go ahead and put the gasket in there. And I'm going to go get some plumber putty out of the shop and putty that up so we don't have any more air leaks. Alright, I put Teflon tape on first. Put some pipe dope on here. Spread that around. Ugh. Put the gasket back on. And come on. You want to be particular. All right. There it goes. Alright, that's on tight. Now let's see if we can do this without it leaking. I don't hear any leaks. No leak. Okay, what I did forget is the tire gauge to see what it's set at. Let me go get a tire gauge. Okay. It says 9.4. I got a little bit more to go. Quite a bit more. That's 20. That's good. Getting a lot closer. Whew. That's 24. I'll get about 10 more pumps. Call it good. Let's see where we are. $26, close enough. Considering it was pumping water with less than 10, I'm going to call that good. Alright, just check my tightness on everything. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. Alright. I'm going to turn the water back on from the cistern. And plug this in, it'll probably cycle. Because I drained some water out of the line, so the line's not full anymore. The key is let this cycle and then shut off. Here we go. It should shut off once it pressurizes. Shut that water off. Might not be primed enough. I'm going to shut it off and put some more water in the prime. Shut that off. Undo that and put some more water in the pump to prime it in the priming plug. Yeah, it's not working. Where's my... Okay. There it is. I'm getting plenty of water out of the priming plug, so I think it just needs to pressurize the system. Of course, I probably just got rid of some of my air. So I'm going to pump that up another 10 pumps. Just 'cause. Didn't feel very tight. Let me do a little more. There we go. Alright. Just for giggles, let me see where that's at. Well, that's only at 23. And I have to go some more. Shoot. $27.3. Perfect. All right. Open that up. Plug it back in and let it do its thing. Ooh, that worked. Now I'm going to go in the house and see if it's still cycling. And I'm going to come back here and pick up all my tools. Okay, let's see if we're cycling. It's not pulsating. Oh, a little air in the line. Perfect. The pump is not cycling. Let me go see. Can't even hear it running yet. Pressure tank's doing its job. Okay, just kicked on. You hear it? Excellent. Well, other than the water splashing all over my glasses and the camera, it's working better than it has. I've probably needed to do that for several months, but it didn't get until it was just constantly cycling, which I know can burn up a pump, that I decided to get off my lazy butt and fix it. So, there you go. It's a Drummond 1 horsepower shallow well pump from Harbor Freight. It is the 4th pump I've had, but I replaced the first 3 when this stuff happened without knowing that I could fix it myself. Should have known better. Handy Jan. So, there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Boo-bye. Alright, say boo-bye.
Super Dad, signing off.
Yeah.